Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of Beyond the Battlefield, Stories of Mountain and Air. This is the podcast that delves into the diverse and compelling careers of Vermont Guardsmen. I'm Senior Airman Emily Sorrell with the 158th Fighter Wing. In this series, we're exploring the unique experiences, challenges, and insights of the men and women who have dedicated their lives to serving our country, 1 week in a month and 2 weeks a year. So this week, we're here with my fellow recruiting assistant, Sergeant Matt Doligon. He is actually in the medical group at the Vermont Air National Guard. So I gotta ask, you're working with recruiting in 158th Fighter Wing. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you want to join the Vermont Air National Guard and how you wound up in recruiting and retention?
Well, I served active duty for quite a bit, and I decided to continue my service to the community and to the country. I wanted to continue that after active duty, so I looked into joining the Guard. I was stationed in Fairchild, Washington at the time. My wife got a job offer in Vermont, and that pushed us to looking into job opportunities around the area, and I found Vermont National Guard. And I put in an application for a transfer, and one thing led to the next, and now I'm here.
So you currently work with recruiting and retention at the 158th Fighter Wing. Can you tell us a little bit about how, what made you decide that you were going to go Vermont Air National Guard, and then how you wound up in recruiting and retention?
So when I first got to Vermont, I had a tour around the base, and I got a chance to meet Master Sergeant Heineck, which is our recruiting and retention officer. We had our introductions, and she said that I would be a perfect fit to start recruiting as a recruiter's assistant. So I was blessed to be provided with that opportunity. I think she said I had the personality for it.
Yeah, I think you do. You fit very well into our office.
I think so. Thank you.
So with your background experience in active duty, coming into the Guard, you get to see such diversity of the people. You get first-term Guardsmen. You have no military experience, people that are not prior service. And then you get people who are previously active duty like yourself. So seeing all of that, the new Americans who are on a pathway to citizenship, with your perspective, what was it like coming into the Guard to see all of that? It's a different ball game compared to active duty for sure. A lot of people come in for different reasons. They come in from all over the United States for different reasons. But I also I noticed that the Guard isn't really noticed by many people within Vermont itself. Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people want to join because they want to travel more. They want to do something, they want to be a part of a team that's bigger than themselves. But at the same time, a vast majority of folks in Vermont don't even know that we exist. Yeah,
they don't even know that those opportunities are literally right underneath their nose, right in their community, and we're literally their neighbors.
Exactly.
We own the businesses that they go to, and it's crazy to think that they don't even know about it. I mean, the Guard does a lot, but it's not noticed or acknowledged as much as active duty would be, because people really only think of active duty.
Right. And typically, we don't really wear this outside of base.
Yeah,
so you would never know.
So recently you were overseas on a mission with Vermont National Guard to Senegal in Africa. It's the Medical Readiness MedRex exercise. So for those of you that don't know, Senegal since 2008 has actually been one of Vermont's state partners in the State Partnership Program. Can you tell us a little bit about what the SPP is?
Well, the NGB, or the National Guard Bureau, pretty much links a state's National Guard with a partner nation in order to build long-lasting relationships for both mutual benefits for our allies all around the world.
And you can definitely see that, especially with Senegal. I would say we learn so much from them, from how they operate, because they operate in such a wildly different way than we do, and they learn a lot from us. And we
110%.
Yeah,
yes.
And from what you were telling me from that trip, you got as much from that trip as anybody else. That you were there to help got. So that was huge.
Yeah, I feel like it was too short. I know we were there for 2 weeks, but it felt longer But the amount of, I want to say the amount of accomplishment, the amount of things that we were able to do was just outstanding. We built connections like almost instantly, and the ability to practice our medical skills with our counterparts and to learn from them as well. There was a lot of knowledge exchange that was going on there. So it's definitely. It's awesome. It was. I don't know how to put it in words. Like, it's just something that you need to like.
You need to experience
yes,
it.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, and like through that experience, what would you say the full purpose of the MedRex was for that visit?
The purpose of the MedRex is to support the SPP or the state partnership program, Senegal specifically. It's to help practice our medical skills and to help not just train our units, but also to be trained by our counterparts in our ally nation, Senegal. It gives us a chance to build relationships, to practice our skills. There were folks from New Hampshire Guard as well that were with us, so we got a lot of time to get to know each other, and that was cool because there's not enough time to interact with other Guard members as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard to like truly interact with people outside of drill. I feel like on trips like that, the 2-week-long trips, like those are the ones where I get to get the most value out of the relationships that I have with the people in my squadron.
Right.
So I'm glad you were able to experience that on the trip for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, in those 2 weeks we got to really know each other very well, and like I said, for the local populace in Senegal, we built this amazing connection.
You faced a lot more than I thought you were going to on this trip. You want to tell me a little bit more about like what you actually did?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So here in the Vermont National Guard, I'm 4NO, which is an aerospace medical technician. While I was in Senegal, I was attached to the emergency department with a couple of members from our team as well. So we were spread across different sections within Senegal itself, and within Senegal, we were in Tambacounda Regional Hospital, Kadogu. I can only speak for what I experienced. In Tambacounda, there was a dental team, there was optometry team, there was labor and delivery team. I was with the emergency department.
What were like some specific things you did while you were working there? What were some of the things that you saw that you're okay with sharing?
So the section I was in, the emergency department, it was a open clinic. I think the biggest challenges that I faced at the time was just the language barrier. Overcoming the language barrier was very, very challenging. As a medic, performing any duties, we kind of need to know what's going on, like in real time. So that little buffer, that little delay can affect our performance. So having to wait for a translator to come over to help translate for the nurse or the patient, that kind of made it a little bit difficult. That was definitely a challenge, but we were able to overcome that challenge.
That's amazing.
Yeah. One thing that I learned was that there's no such thing as EMTs or paramedics there. As far as the ambulance is concerned, you only have an ambulance driver.
Okay.
So if you were to get into an accident, the ambulance would have to come pick you up and take you to the closest clinic first.
Okay.
There is no care in between, and the driver is only responsible for taking you to the closest clinic. The clinic has to determine where, if they can take care of you, if they have the resources to take care of that patient, or if they have to send them to like a regional hospital, like Tambacounda, for example. So it could be like 1 to 2 hours of no intervention.
You're the first bit of medical intervention they may have. That's insane.
One of our counterparts in the Army side decided to create a medical kit, a very basic medical kit to help the drivers intervene with any patients they may encounter. Very simple stuff like how to stop the bleed, like tourniquets, bandages, and stuff like that. Just little things help. But yeah, it was awe-inspiring to see with what little resources they had, they were able to get the job done. We learned so much from them. As resilience, their level of resilience is insane.
Through the roof, I would imagine. Yeah, absolutely.
Some folks couldn't afford any pain medication, so they would have to deal with procedures like suturing.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to pat you on the back because I know you refuse to pat yourself on the back, but you are one of the most selfless people I know. And yeah, it is just, I need to like understand like what compelled you to want to leave the comfort, like what made you want to go on this trip and leave the comforts of Vermont and volunteer for this opportunity?
Who am I to say no, given the opportunity to do so? You know, I think the Guard is fantastic for people like me, I would say, who are looking to be part of a bigger team, to help out those who are in need. But yeah, it was easy for me to do it because I just want to help out. That's all I ever wanted to do. Mm-hmm. There's a saying in the Guard, for neighbor and for nation, for neighbor and nation. And I think that, that embodies, I think that speaks to me personally.
1,000%, absolutely.
Super proud to be part of this team. That's 110%. Mm-hmm. They don't pay me to say that, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I like to say though, like out of all the TDYs and deployments I've been on, this had the most impact on me. Mm-hmm. This one, I felt like I actually made a change.
Thank you so much for sitting with us. I'm really glad we got to have you here and talk about you. I mean, who you are as a Green Mountain boy and as a human on the outside is just so phenomenal to see, like, all these different aspects that go into who Staff Sergeant Doligon is. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to Beyond the Battlefield, Stories of Mountain and Air. We're glad that you've joined us as we tell stories of men and women who serve and protect at home and abroad. I'm Senior Airman Emily Sorrell. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.